Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Ariel Camus. I'm the founder of Microverse, and we're training software developers and connecting them with global opportunities in 53 countries around the world already. And 5 years ago, I found myself helping Lonely Planet, a company that still prints 12 million books a year, transition from a publishing company to a digital company. They had acquired my previous startup to help them with this massive challenge after realizing how hard it was for them to attract technical talent in Nashville, Tennessee. But we have all encountered this problem before. We have great projects. We know the people that we need for our teams is out there, but we can't find them. We have all had that problem before. When this happened to me, I had just came back from spending 1 month teaching at a University of Computer Science in Ngozi, a very small town in the middle of Burundi, one of the poorest countries in the world. And while I was there, I met people like Dale. He was brilliant, really good at computer programming, top of his class, always asking great questions. But when I asked him about his potential job opportunities, he told me, I'm probably end up going to managing the local cyber cafe. But he was not an exception. In fact, I've traveled all around the world meeting people like him. And even though they're all now connected to the internet and to Facebook for the first time, they're all still disconnected from professional opportunities. So I wonder, why is it that there are millions of talented people out there, and we are still struggling to find the talent that we need for our teams? That problem drove me crazy. So here's what I did. I came back to Lonely Planet, and I asked them to let me build a remote team for them and to hire all around the world. I won't lie to you, convincing them wasn't easy. But once I did, I was able to hire a team of 10 senior developers in less than a month, and the process was a breeze. So let me tell you something. Remote work is the future of work. And that doesn't mean that everyone has to work remotely. It just means that remote work won't be the exception in the future. But don't take my word for it. A few years ago, I was lucky enough to meet Sitij Brandy, GitLab CEO, and somehow he generously accepted to become my mentor. GitLab has raised $165 million. They are a unicorn now. And in these past 3 years, I've seen how they grew from 6 employees to 600 employees, all working remotely from all around the world from 50 countries. And that is when I realized where the opportunity was. We were going to build a school to not just teach people how to code, but also to teach them how to work as part of a distributed workforce. And not only that, we were going to do that at no upfront cost, connect them with remote opportunities, and only charge them once they got a job. That's how Microverse was born, and last year we launched our 8-month-long program where people from all around the world come together to learn how to code as part of real-world distributed teams. They all work with their coding partners full-time, doing remote pair programming. They do weekly retrospectives, daily stand-ups, code reviews, everything as if they were in a real-world team. Since we launched, we are now receiving more than 10,000 applicants to join our program every month from more than 200 countries. But we only select the best talent out there. Only the top 0.3% makes it to the program. And we already have students in more than 53 countries around the world. Our dropout rate is below 10%, and I'm going to explain why that is in a moment. By the time they finish, their salary increases between 3x to 8x compared to their previous jobs. Now, in the past year since we launched, we have learned 3 really important lessons. Number 1 is that what we need in online education is not better content or better teachers. What we need is more support, accountability, and structure at scale. Lesson number 2 is that we can provide those things by using peer-to-peer learning. So by having students working with each other, helping each other, and holding each other accountable, we're actually helping them learn how to work as part of a distributed team at the same time. And lesson number 3 is that we can use peer-to-peer learning to scale almost anything at the school. In fact, we're managing 10,000 applicants every month with just 1 person doing admissions. At Microverse, everything is done using peer-to-peer mechanisms. And because it allows us to significantly reduce the cost per student while still keeping an engagement that is spectacularly high, we use that advantage to invest in people in places that no one else had access to before. We, in fact, are the only school in the world offering an income share agreement available worldwide to every single person in every single country. Now, even though we have a lot of success stories of students from Africa, Eastern Europe, Latin America, even students working for Microsoft from Kenya now, a lot of those stories are still have men as protagonists. If women are underrepresented in tech in the US, when you work with emerging and developing countries, the reality is way worse. This is why today we're announcing here for the first time right here our Coded by Her initiative, where we're going to be providing stipends for general living expenses to 40 women around the world in this initial pilot, so they can support their families financially while they're going through our program. Now, this is just the beginning, and you might be expecting me to try to convince you that Microverse is the solution to the problems. Instead, I want to leave here today by asking you to take an active role and think how you can make your organizations take advantage of this massive, global, and diverse opportunity. Because the talent that we need for our teams is out there, and we just need to connect the dots. Thank you so much.